It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Saturday, the 15th of November. I'm Michael Groff. The place is here, and the time is now. Yes, the pattern change that we've been talking about seemingly forever is arriving today with a storm system well to the west of us right now. Clouds are going to be on the increase. Chances of showers, thunderstorms, some very high elevation snow, cooler temperatures. Now, the rain will arrive for most of us by later this afternoon and tonight, although we're already seeing a few light showers along parts of the lower Colorado River Valley, Yuma, up toward Quartzsite. We've had a couple of little sprinkles, some very light showers this morning. We'll continue to see those increasing as we go through the day today, although much of the day will be dry and still rather warm. Then for the rest of this weekend and next week, yes, much cooler and unsettled conditions. Now, we're still going to have to iron out the details as to where, when, how much precipitation there's going to be. We'll talk about all of it as we dive on in and discuss. All right, let's get to it. The almanac from yesterday. Boy, oh boy, 89 degrees was the afternoon high here in Phoenix after a morning low of 61. 77 and 54 are the averages for this time of year. And 91 degrees, that record high, so we just missed it. As we take a look outside right now, just about 7:30 a.m. Yeah, we've got a few high clouds out there at the moment. We're sitting at 63 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew points at 39, relative humidity 42%. The winds are light and the barometer is rising. Let's take a look at the current radar. And this is out across western, southwest Arizona, southeast California. You can see the bands of rain out there, some embedded thunder, but some light showers are beginning to intrude into far western Arizona, right along the Colorado River. Yuma, again up toward around Quartzsite. We've seen a couple of light showers this morning, but most of the rain is still west of us, and that's going to be where it stays, just gradually creeping east as we go through the day today, eventually making it toward our part of the state by later this afternoon and this evening. Satellite picture out here across the west, and you can see how that storm is wound up and that moisture is streaming north through southern and central California up into parts of Nevada, and the Sierra is certainly seeing some rain and snow, and that spin in the clouds gradually going to shift its way to the east, but this system has been progressing very, very slowly, and so as a result, we probably won't see any precipitation in here, at least for most of us, until later today. The watch warning map, obviously, across Southern California. We've got the wind advisory, some flood watches posted, and there's some higher elevation snow that's ongoing, a little dense fog in the Gulf Coast. Otherwise, not a lot happening. Convective outlook for today. We don't anticipate any organized severe weather, but some thunder possible just to the west of us. And again, even here in south central Arizona, as this system comes on in later tonight and early tomorrow, we could hear some rumbles of thunder around. Probably not anything overly widespread in terms of the coverage of thunder, but isolated thunder possible. There is that marginal risk of severe storms, by the way, around Youngstown, Ohio, over toward Pittsburgh today. The tropics and the Atlantic Basin, Atlantic, Caribbean, the Gulf, quiet and will remain quiet for at least the next 7 days. We're just about ready to put the hurricane season to bed, although it does run technically through the 30th of November, but sure looks like nothing's going to happen here. Same story in the East Pacific, very quiet. We'll keep an eye on it. Closer to home, this is the precipitation outlook for the next 7 days. Now, this runs through Saturday morning, next Saturday morning. And rain amounts in Phoenix, according to the guys at WPC, 1 inch to 2 inches. And certainly just north of us, we could see anywhere from 2 to 3 inches plus for northern Maricopa, Yavapai, parts of northern Gila, Coconino, far northern La Paz, Mojave County, and certainly into parts of southeast California up into southern Nevada. Some pretty impressive precipitation totals will be happening there as 2, possibly 3 systems come through the southwest over the next 7+ days. So let's get into the details of this forecast right now. What might the future hold? Here we go. This is the GFS. It's the 06Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. This is the upper look at 500 millibars. That's about 18,000 feet. ASL above sea level. Big trough that's spiraling off the east coast of North America. And we've got this ridge kind of in betwixt and between. And out here over the southwest, there's that upper low that's just off the southern California coast. So what it all means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today, increasing clouds, chances of showers will come in by later this afternoon. The timing on this is still a little bit questionable. 2 o'clock, 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. It won't be until later this afternoon. I guess we could conceivably see a sprinkle or something before that. But for the most part, the rain should hold off until at least mid-afternoon today. And let's take a look at our high-resolution guidance for better clarity on this. This is the HRRR at 4 o'clock this afternoon, the simulated radar product. And again, the radar probably doesn't look precisely like this, but you get the idea. It shows just a kind of a few showers coming into the area by, again, about 4 o'clock. And, that seems to be about the timing now. Mid to late afternoon, we'll start to see some showers. Now, understand, these will be showers. They'll be scattered. Even at 4, 5, 6 o'clock, not all of you are going to get wet. This is not going to be a big deluge. This isn't going to be like we saw in late September or early October. This is not that kind of a system. This is more of a showery kind of a system, which is ultimately what we call a high pop, relatively low QPF event, a high probability of precipitation. But in terms of the amounts, generally speaking, this storm system is probably only going to produce anywhere from a few hundredths in the drier locations up to a quarter to a third of an inch, with a few embedded heavier amounts possible. So that's how it looks this afternoon. High temperatures today, by the way, still upper 70s and low 80s, because much of the day we'll see some sun, although the clouds will be on the increase. This is the HRRR tonight. This is 8 p.m. And again, some scattered showers. There could even be a rumble of thunder coming through at that time. You'll notice this doesn't look like a big shield of rain. I have a feeling the HRRR is ever so slightly underdone, but still, showers will be scattered to occasionally numerous. And I think the best chance of rain, at least the best coverage of rain, will be later tonight and into the morning hours on Sunday. This is 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. And again, a band of light to moderate showers coming through. Again, not talking about a big old flooding rain, but if you get parked under one of these convectively driven showers, these thunder showers, yes, some locally heavy rain could occur, but for the most part, rain amounts are going to be pretty light with this system. Now, as we go into the day on Sunday, we'll start the day out with lows generally in the 50s and low 60s. Not a lot of diurnal temperature variance because of the clouds and some precipitation. Tomorrow, we'll see breezy conditions at times and a bit cooler with high temperatures only in the upper 60s to low 70s, mostly cloudy showers, thunderstorms likely. But keep in mind, again, just kind of a on again, off again sort of regime. It's not going to rain all day. This is just going to be kind of some passing showers and isolated thunder. So if you have outdoor activities planned for tomorrow, notice you will have to dodge some raindrops in all probability. But you probably will still be able to do whatever you need to do outside, just absent some of the rain showers that will be around. So keep that in mind. And again, yes, it will be cooler tomorrow, and that's going to feel great. Now, by tomorrow night, that's going to start to move on out of here. Monday, we're between systems. We're partly sunny. I suppose there could be a shower around at some point through the day, but we don't have that in our forecast right now. But I suppose the chance of rain is, I guess, not technically zero. But for the most part, dry conditions and high temperatures on Monday. Yeah, upper 60s, low 70s, which is a little bit below seasonal averages. All right, Tuesday, system number 2 comes on in, and this system is colder. It has a little less moisture, but it is definitely more of a dynamic system. So I think that'll kind of counterbalance the lack of moisture. So we'll squeeze out all that we can from the atmosphere because it's much colder air aloft. So as a result, numerous showers and some isolated thunderstorms with this system, some mountain snow too. Now, this first system, the snow level may creep all the way down to about 7,000 feet. We might see a few flakes of snow in Flagstaff and above. This next system, the snow level should be lower. We'll see a considerable greater amount of snowfall, at least in terms of coverage across northern Arizona. Probably down to maybe 6,000 feet, maybe 5,500 feet. But certainly places like Flagstaff are more likely to get snow with system number 2 here. Now for us, again, numerous showers, isolated storms, high temperatures, mid 60s. Going to be just kind of a cool day. Not going to rain all day, but we'll have a pretty good chance of rain through the day. All right, here we go to Wednesday. This is probably going to be the coolest day of the forecast period. Now, models are varying as to how quickly system number 2 moves out. It looks like it's going to move a bit slower, so we'll continue with at least a chance at showers and some isolated thunder on Wednesday and some mountain snow. High temperatures in Phoenix, low to mid 60s, well below seasonal averages, a good 10 degrees below average here at least. And so in low temperatures will be probably 50s, low 50s, mid 50s. So again, kind of just a cool, damp day. Again, not raining all day, but just a chance that we could see some showers through the day. All right, Thursday again, we're between systems. We'll call it partly sunny, highs mid to upper 60s. Friday, we're probably still between systems. We've got this next one kind of coming down the California coast and taking its time as it does. So plenty of rain for LA and down to San Diego. I'd say over into the Imperial Valley, maybe the Colorado River Valley up towards southern Nevada, Las Vegas, northwest Arizona could see some rain by Friday. Kingman down to Lake Havasu, Bullhead City, up toward Laughlin. But here in Phoenix, I would say it's questionable. And so we've put in a slight chance of showers by Friday. But model trends want to bring this in just a little slower. Now, this forecast likely is going to have to be adjusted because, we're out here. This is, next Friday. We're starting to trudge into Uncertaintyville. We're not quite in Fantasyland, but we're on the train from Uncertaintyville to Fantasyland here. So we'll have to adjust this forecast, obviously, as we get closer. But that's kind of how it looks right now. At least a chance of showers maybe by the afternoon here in Phoenix. And again, high temperatures, mid to upper 60s. A week from today, this is Saturday, the 22nd of November. There's that upper low to the west of us. Again, it's not moving very quickly, at least according to the GFS. So if that's right, we're going to see some widely scattered showers around, and temperatures might warm up just ever so slightly back into the low 70s. This is Sunday, the 23rd. And again, if this is right, showers coming on through. So this is 3 systems, but it's almost like the effect of 4 because you kind of get an initial band of showers, maybe an initial kind of short wave from that low, and then the low itself comes through and starts to weaken as it does, but we'll see some showers around with that system. So this is almost like 3.5 systems, really. And temperatures, again, mid to upper 60s by next Sunday. That's the 23rd. And again, just some showers around. Again, nothing overly heavy, but certainly some rain will be possible, and this is the end of the forecast period, Monday the 24th. That system is coming through as more of an open wave type system. Still some scattered showers around and higher elevation snow. Temperatures continue below average, generally highs 64 to 69, and just some damp conditions, some off and on showers. All right, looking at rainfall for Phoenix. This goes out through the 29th of the month. This is off the GFS ensemble, about 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches. Every member shows rain, of course. Some show a lot more than others. The model spread here, a couple of tenths all the way up to well over 2 inches of rain. So again, pretty good model spread. Again, this is for the next 2 weeks. This is not with just one individual system. Today's system, again, probably is just going to be a tenth, a quarter of an inch at most, with some exceptions. Some of you will see a little less. Some of you, if you get parked under a convectively driven shower, see more. This is the European ensemble, same time frame out through the 29th of the month, about 1.5 inches. European AI, about the same story, with some individual members showing some rather bonkers results here. If one of these systems, if one of the trajectories of this changes and we tap into some deeper moisture, obviously we can get more. But right now, that's kind of what we're looking at. And I would suggest, this is just me, far be it for me to go against all this model data, but I kind of think we'll be on the lower end, maybe closer to 1 inch during this time. But get back to me as we go through this event, because obviously things can and likely will change. Temperatures off the national blend of models. Today will be our last day in the 80s for a while, maybe for the rest of the year, maybe until March, maybe February, but until next year sometime. We'll see, though. We can still have those surprise warm days late in November and December. But otherwise, temperatures are trending down. Highs as we go into much of next week and the next weekend, mostly 60s, low 70s, overnight lows, 40s and 50s, with some active weather around. The CPC outlook, this goes from the 22nd through the 28th of the month. The 8 to 14 day outlook, and if this works out, temperatures across most of the western United States remaining below average. At the same time, of course, precipitation above average. My favorite combination: below average temperatures, above average precipitation chances based on the CPC outlook. And that's awesome. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. And should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. Leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy what we do here, you want to support the channel, click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make a monetary contribution to us that way, or via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's GROFF show@gmail.com for PayPal. That is also the address you use to send in your submissions for Photo Friday. We get that question a lot. groffshow@gmail.com for Photo Friday also. But that's our PayPal address. Our Venmo is also linked up down in the description below, so there's so many ways to support this channel. Please consider doing that if you do, in fact, enjoy our content and you want to help us out. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out, blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, Kylie related, Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description below, so feel free to check all that out. And what else? Of course, our streaming station available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun over there, so consider giving that a listen as well. And Dan, check him out. Dan the Man over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel. The Courtroom Files on YouTube, courtroomfiles.com for all your Courtroom Files merch. It's a great channel, loads of content, and, you know, live shows as well. So what else could you possibly want? There's no game night over there tonight. Dan has game night on hiatus. You know, it's one of those things. His wife has a broken leg. So, you know, the wife comes first. You know, family first, then video games. That's the hierarchy of life. That's how it should be. I know some people kind of have it the other way. You know, we don't encourage negligence here. However, we are all geeks in some way or another. So, you know, video games are like, you know, here's family right up here, video games like right below that, and then everything else. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. Please be safe. And it's not going to be as warm, but still low to mid 80s, you know, still stay cool, stay hydrated out there. That's always good advice. And please have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Saturday.